Welcome to Flourish Well, the podcast where we explore what it truly means to live healthier, move better, and feel more grounded in everyday life. I'm your host, Naomi Dillon, and each month we shine a spotlight on a different dimension of well-being, from physical health to emotional resilience, stress, relationships, and everything in between. This month, in preparation for the New Year workout push, we are focusing on what a good community can do for you in your workout journey. Support without judgment, people you admire pushing you to be better, not just in your workouts, but in life. Finding the right gym community often plays a huge role in people sticking with a workout plan. Today, we talk with Abby and David, founders of 39-Minute Workout and Wellness here in Ellicott City. This dynamic duo work together to run their gym space and acupuncture practice. They have worked tirelessly to create a welcoming community of people who look to improve both their mental and physical states through exercise and acupuncture. I bet you didn't know that acupuncture can help with your anxiety and depression, because I sure didn't. They also do this work to set a great example for their 3 kids who have started their own powerlifting journeys, constantly seeking self-betterment and wanting to support those around them. Abby and David are a fantastic pair, making a real difference in people's lives. You can learn more about their gym and practice at 39minuteworkout.com and on Facebook or Instagram at 39minuteworkout. Be sure to check out their podcast as well, the 39-Minute Podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. Let's dive into today's conversation. Welcome, David and Abby. So excited to have you here on Flourish Well. How's everything going today?
Fine and dandy.
Couldn't be better.
A great Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yep. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I am so excited to have met you both. I'm always looking for great gym spaces and great trainers and acupuncturists also in the area where I treat. And so coming to Ellicott City, I was without anyone. So I'm glad to have both of you in my back pocket for my patients. And I thought that it would be a great topic to kind of cover like what community can do for people in a training setting right before the whole New Year buzz, right? I know that everybody's like New Year, new you. But that fizzles out after 2 or 3 weeks, right? So like, how do we make that sustainable? And I know that personally, like I need an accountability partner. That's for me, my parents, that's my husband. It's about to be you guys. I'm excited to come train with you guys. And I'm sure that other people are like that. Not a ton of people are self-motivated when it comes to exercise. Yeah. So excited to talk with you today about your experience with that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Or they're self-motivated, but they don't work hard enough to get results.
There's also that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love just sticking with the same weight for my bicep curls because I never want I never want to lift arms. So exactly. Awesome. So just starting off, you opened a 39-minute workout 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And what inspired you to do that?
See, Abby and I were like talking about the It's funny. I don't think I was inspired. I think I'm more inspired now than I was in the beginning. I think in the beginning, she and I had just graduated from acupuncture school maybe 5-ish years before that. Well, I mean, I was her. I was her.
Stop! We're not going down that road. You're not my mentor. You were like some schlub that checked points in the student clinic.
I was a supervisor in the clinic, and she was a student.
He was 2 years ahead of me, but we bypassed that.
Inappropriate relationship.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not what this is about.
This is a story for 2 glasses of wine,
yeah,
right? Like
that's not what the story is. Yeah, I mean, I think we sort of were discussing like our journey was pretty happened organically. Like it was it kind of came out of a couple of different things. Number one, I really was recently out of school and I started renting space from like a friend of a friend who had just opened this small, very, very small personal training studio that was like in an office building in Columbia above in the
above Burritos.
shopping
above
center.
In Kingston
Yeah, in the
Drive-ins.
village center. I'm from Columbia. I can't believe I couldn't remember the word. In a village center. And it was like literally she would train like no more than 5 people at a time. It was very small. She did a lot of one-on-one or 2-on-1 lunchtime kind of stuff. And then she had a treatment room in the back. So I was renting space there. And then at the same time,
I was
David
I was a
was
fitness person. I was kind of the jack of all trades as a kid. I mean, I was born in 76. I was raised in the 80s and 90s, so I was one of those feral free range kids who played everything. I mountain biked. I lived against Lock Raven Reservoir. I grew up mountain biking there. I played every sport with friends. You know, we were in the kickball and the street generation and all that good stuff, and inappropriate games you can't say, you know, all sorts of stuff. And then I was played a lot of sports, fitness, and then through my 20s kind of lost touch with it, especially in acupuncture school, like working a ton, go
No time for
going to
that.
school,
Yeah.
like no time for anything, really got unhealthy mentally and physically in my mid to late 20s. And then I don't remember what brought me, I think I traded for fitness with a client in Towson at the time.
Huh.
And that brought me back. I realized how woefully out of shape I was. I ended up in a YMCA, actually the Y close to us in Ellicott City.
Uh-huh.
And this dude rolls this thing of kettlebells into the gym to use them himself. And I was like, what in the world is that thing? And I was intrigued. It looked weird. It looked weird in a cool way, and
Uh-huh.
I hired a trainer. He taught me, and then I honestly it just worked out. I wouldn't say I was inspired. It was more led by circumstance. I saw this guy. I got a trainer. The
Uh-huh.
certifications were always in like Minnesota or California, and then randomly one came to Philly, and I was like, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah.
No plan in the world of why. Um, and I did it, and I started seeing clients in that place Abby was talking about with like it was an awkward, like rhombus shaped, wacky little triangle, like no room for clients, and I didn't know what I was doing. When I look back at it, it's almost embarrassing, like I was charging people for this. Um, but
That's growth, right?
I had to cut my teeth the hard way and learn, and I didn't have a mentor. I had time and observation, and I have certain gifts in the world, and I'm very observant, and I watch what works. And over 15 years, I got really good at it, and now we
Yeah.
have business that's flourishing, and both of us are part of it. I mean, I think it was probably 5-ish years into it till Abby really became part of the gym side.
I
Like,
just kept having kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was making
Life
the
was
baby.
busy in other ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you were
I was
interested
around. I mean, I
doing.
just every time I would get in a groove with
Yeah.
working out for a bit, I would get pregnant again. You know, just it.
Mhm.
Not, I'm talking like I have 18 kids.
Yeah,
I have
3.
in that time. I mean, I have 3 kids. But
And then we
you know,
figured out how you were getting pregnant, and we stopped it. And it was
That old adage,
we
yeah.
were like, "Why do they keep coming?" And then we were like, "Oh, all right, yeah."
I just kept having kids.
Yeah,
No, but like I was also, a fairly new acupuncturist, and I was focused on trying to build a
Mhm.
practice and trying to
Right.
work in, working and treating. But I would take his
I was
classes
gonna
early
say, did you
on.
take class? I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
so.
And
Yeah.
but so I think to the answer to your question is because you gotta rein him back around, bring him back around. Um and was that it kind of happened. It's not like we went into this and we're like, let's create a gym, here's our vision, here's the business plan, these are our goals, our numbers, blah 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 blah. It just kind of like I wonder if I wasn't renting the room that I was renting in the space that I was
Mhm.
renting, if this would have even evolved into something. It was sort of like opportunity kind of
Yeah.
just grew and it really happened organically.
It's
And we were
something
doing
like
this in the midst of, having the backbone of our acupuncture practices. And he was still, working at the acupuncture school at the time. So we had like kind of a couple of different streams. And to be honest, like when I was pregnant with Max, who's our second, and this was really in that time, um, I we were really looking for more ways to make money, more sources of income because,
Mhm.
like being your own boss
Sole proprietor, yeah.
is great, but like we're both trying to build a base and it's hard.
Yeah.
So, we were trying to generate more streams of income,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. It sounds like a mix of what Ina Garten says, which is like being ready when the luck happens, right? But
Mhm.
also like taking the right next step, which is,
Yeah.
the universe, whatever, was like guiding you along this little path of like, hey,
Yeah.
this thing is cool.
This
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. There
Mhm.
happens to be something happening here. We happen to have this space. Like, why
Yeah.
not do it?
Yeah, and it
Um,
was like years later where we really had the financial skin in the game, right?
mhm,
Like we really, other than like buying some at that point, like some kettlebells to, you know, serve these 3 to 5 people at a time, we didn't really have a lot of financial skin in the game. And so it didn't feel at that point, it didn't feel, like pressure, like,
mhm.
"Okay, this thing has to succeed, or we have our whole
Yeah.
life savings in it, we took out a second mortgage on the house, we have this big loan," like, it really
Yeah.
that didn't really happen, which was, I think, a little bit of, like, the luck part too,
Mhm.
circumstance.
My perception, I mean, I tried to become an entrepreneur, and my perception was that most entrepreneurs are they're numbers people and they're planners and they're very type A. And I've had to accept over the many years that like I always thought of myself as type A because I'm an intense person, but
Mm.
I'm really type B.
Mhm.
And Abby and I are very like fly by the seat of our pants. People are like, what do you know, people who are scheduled out from now till the cows come home. I don't understand those people. I'm I don't know what I'm doing next in my business to this day. I
Sure.
don't know what
Yeah.
I'm gonna post later today. I
Yeah.
don't know what challenge I'm gonna,
If you
like,
were like, "Quick, give me some numbers on your business,"
oh,
you would
forget
go
about it.
blank.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I
It's
Luckily, like
and I felt I'm more like guided by my intuition and I
mhm.
take opportunities they arise as they arise and we are where we are because of that. We both just kind of like
Yeah.
keep moving forward and surf through it. I think it helps us because we survived raising young kids, running a business together. We've survived COVID, which crushed tons of gyms. We're dealing with Doge cuts and all this, in an area
Mhm.
where Doge cuts and stuff have
It's
hurt
huge.
this
Yeah.
area a lot. Like,
Yeah.
and we just keep going because we're
There
both
there's that
let,
third category, type C. I don't know if you've heard of
yeah,
that, but like the
oh,
uh-uh,
intensity
yeah.
level at 10 and then
yeah,
also the like what's happening? Like
yeah.
I'm very
Oh,
flexible
that's
and
me.
go with the flow, you know? Yeah, and I'm the same
That's
way.
totally
So
me. Yeah,
flexibility is like definitely the name of the game.
because I'm
S
not chill like a type B. So
Well,
yeah,
and you
I'm
probably
not.
know, and I don't know if this, do you learn if they helped you at all in PT school, but in certainly in acupuncture school, like there was no like business class. There was
Put
like
up a
a
shingle and
few,
tell people you do
yeah,
it.
there was like a
Yeah.
few things on like maybe how to fill out some tax forms or something, but
Sure.
like I
Yep.
don't even know if there was like it was
Yeah.
very like, and I think that class was called like the chi of
Oh,
business
it
or
was so
something. Like, it was so like
just
acupuncture
yeah.
based, but
I
like
love
it's
that.
like, okay, you graduated, you have this craft, now go out into the world
Good
and figure out how
luck.
to do it.
Good luck.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and
Yeah.
so they're yeah, they teach you all the hands-on skills, right? But then,
Right.
like, you don't know
It's the
Bob was
same
like, "You
deal.
make 6 figures,"
yeah.
and they're like,
Okay, well, I'm
"Yeah,
also
overnight."
here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, go ahead.
We had to write a business plan. That was all we did. And then after
Okay.
that, it was like, good luck, like all this
Yeah.
insurance stuff. I'm like, okay, I
Oh,
don't
God.
remember learning any of this.
No, we didn't.
So, yeah,
We couldn't.
I
Nope.
definitely get it. So, it's interesting. My next question for you, you kind of led right into that with the kettlebell comment. What drew you to kettlebells over another kind of strengthening technique? You know, there's like so many different options out there. So
Yeah.
why kettlebells?
I would have been bored by machines. I didn't feel like in college, I lifted with friends a lot. We did bench press and stuff
Mhm.
in college, and I got really strong without really knowing what I was doing. Kettlebells reminded me of my favorite sport, which was wrestling. I was a wrestler in high school for
Hmm.
a couple years. Honestly, it was just a couple years, but I loved it. Wished I had come across it earlier. It felt the closest to wrestling, which was the best shape of my life because it was strength and cardio together,
Mhm.
and it felt very much like a sport. You were gonna get very strong all over. You
Yeah.
couldn't help but get strong all over, and you were gonna get in really good condition, and that's a great combo. It felt more fun, more interesting, and I could do it alone without a spotter.
Yeah, and I would
Oh.
So,
say for me, like when I started learning them, it's funny because like we kind of started learning them together, and I sort of was like doing it on my own. Then he went to go get like trained and certified and actually learn. But like for me with young kids, I was like, oh, I can get the most bang for my buck here.
yeah.
You know,
Mm.
like I can get my strength and cardio all in one. And it feels like I had a really good workout and I can do it for 30 minutes
Yeah.
and like, and not, and I was more of like a, I even laugh when I say a runner, but
Mhm.
I was never actually a runner, but I was someone who ran because it was the easiest form of exercise to do. I could
Mhm.
strap on my shoes, run out the door, go for 30 minutes and come home.
Yeah.
But I never enjoyed it. I always hated it. I did a bunch of triathlons, like But strength training is what I'm actually built for, and
Mm-hmm.
I really I did some growing up, some in college, but mostly it was, I mean, it was the 90s. It was cardio based, like that's really what we were focused on, cardio, 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 step
Mm-hmm.
aerobics,
Mm-hmm.
Taibo,
Yep.
that kind of stuff. And uh I was like, "Oh, wow, I actually have the build of somebody who was born to lift weights." So
Mm-hmm.
I'm super bummed. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
5'10", 120 pounds. I'm super bummed that I didn't get into strength training earlier, certainly before I had kids, because I would have be a lot. I don't know. I'm not gonna say a
Well,
little more
but it
regret, but
also,
I wish that I missed that opportunity.
yeah, but like it also wasn't a thing, right? Like women in a gym, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like in 2000, I feel like people were not doing that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Um
I mean,
t-
even,
tw-
like, when we went to College Park and, like, the gym was like like, jail cell,
yeah.
like, little rooms, right? And then by
Yeah.
the time we left, like, I think, like, my last
Yeah,
semester
that
there,
huge gym was
they had
built by
built
the
the big
yeah.
facility, which is
Yeah.
now more typical of what you see all across and
Right.
then, our
Daughter
daughter is
is
in college, and, like, the rec center at her
Mhm.
school is just like, "Oh
yeah.
my god," like, no
Yeah.
wonder why these kids are so much more into it.
Yeah, like
Right.
my kids have grown up with kettlebells and now powerlifting. I mean, my son who's over her head, and then my daughter who's right there, they're 13 and 17. He just deadlifted 500 pounds and she deadlifted 180, and they're both
That's
very strong
awesome.
kids. And
Yeah.
like they do powerlifting and stuff, and like you can get stronger doing powerlifting than
Mhm.
kettlebells, but the reality for adults, you don't. You can get as strong as you would ever need to with kettlebells, and they're
Yeah.
crazy efficient. And what I love about them and why we have a huge practice is it's more entertaining than most forms of fitness. It just
Yeah.
is. It's fast, it moves quickly. You like I said, it's strength, cardio, and core in one, and so my clients gravitate towards it because they are busy moms. Most of my clients are raising kids or have raised them and work.
Mhm.
They don't have an hour and a half to go power lift in the gym doing 2 moves for an hour. Like, they're first of
Right.
all, they'd fork their eyes out before they'd sit there and deadlift and bench press over an hour. Like, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still love kettlebells because of that. They're just fun, and, like, I am amazed, and we'll talk when you ask more about community later. We'll talk about the kinda amplification effect of being in a community of people like you, how
Mhm.
much freaking stronger our clients have gotten because they're with each other. If I told them you could swing a 70 or you could deadlift a this, they'd be like, "Whatever,
Yeah.
Mr. Bald Head Tattoo Guy." But when they see, you know, I don't know, name a client,
My
Betsy.
Yeah.
Betsy is, was floor pressing 2 44-pound kettlebells yesterday. You're
That's
like,
awesome. Oh my
all the women
gosh.
look and go, "Holy crap." And, like, most women aren't won't get to that point, but, like, our clients have pushed each other up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of yeah, and gotten very strong yeah.
Well, that's part of what I love about your gym is like I remember at one of the gyms I used to work at, I had this like I think she was like 12 or 13-year-old patient, and she and I would go into the gym and she'd be like 2, 4, 1. And I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "That's how many girls are in this room right now."
I know.
And so, like, even to this day, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
matter, like,
yeah,
time, right? In a
yeah.
traditional gym setting, you are oftentimes not finding women, or there are
Yeah.
very few women in that setting, right?
Or they're on the
Um,
machine. They're on the cardio machine. They're
right,
on the elliptical, not in the
right,
not weight room.
right. And, like, or they're in a class. Like, they
Yeah.
prefer being in a class
Yes.
setting.
Very much so. Yes.
And that's kind of the beauty of what you do, right? Is it's
Mhm.
the strength that we all need.
Yeah.
And it's the class setting that people really love and really
Yes.
like really speak well to, right? Like they want to keep coming
Yeah.
back because this community exists and they feel empowered, right? And then they get to feel as empowered as I do when I deadlift my only 155, right? Like I um so yeah, that's part of what I love about that. And I love that you're commenting on the fun and the different ways that you can use kettlebells, the efficiency of that. Like
Yeah.
that's so important. Speaking like as a pelvic floor PT, like,
Yeah.
my patients respond best when I give them 10-minute squat EMOM where, okay, every minute you're going to do 8 squats with this weight, because they need to be like, they need to
Yeah.
get back to their baby who's, waking
Yes.
up from a
Right.
nap in 10 minutes or whatever, right?
That was the whole 39-minute workout thing. Was my first business coach actually came up with a name, but he's like, it's just over a half an hour and people are going to eat up the time savings. And my God, the amount of time people are like, 39 minutes, I can do that. And it
Yeah.
literally is 39 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
love
I think
that.
efficient. It's
also
fast.
like when David first got certified, I think he had visions of like training like
Hmm.
cops and athletes and young athletes
Wrestlers
and
and
wrestlers. Yeah. And then
got
like
it.
I think because of the acupuncture school, he started getting a lot of like women and
Mm-hmm.
teachers and retired teachers, and it sort of evolved into like that's what I was saying. Like it's not like it was set out with like who's your customer base. I think if you'd asked him if he was going to open a gym, it would not be who he landed on, which is women 40 to 60. I mean, yes, we have younger, we have older, but like
Sure.
that's the essence of our business. But it's so inspiring to watch what women who either I'm gonna very women who were never athletes, who never did anything like this, started lifting weights in their 50s or 60s or 70s, or people who used to be athletes and then took a very long break and now getting back to something that makes them feel strong. And we do have people who have always been active. It's not like we don't, but
Sure.
like it's so inspiring to watch people who, have no body awareness
People are
even.
super uncoordinated.
Yeah.
Like they're almost the most fun to work with because like we have a client right now who's been with us for over 5 years who Rachel,
Yeah,
yeah,
I figured.
who I mean she's like, I'm the most uncoordinated person you've ever worked with, and she's not wrong. She's probably top 5
I
most
would say definitely she is it, but
she was top 10,
yeah.
but my God, you wouldn't know it now. You wouldn't have a clue if you watch her move now.
And she
Like,
tries anything new
yeah,
and she gives it a whirl and she's always down for something, and
yeah,
she's somebody who would never say that she had been an athlete or anything.
yeah.
And so I think that's probably the most inspiring thing to be able to watch now. And it's not like men can't give that to you, but there's something about women who really have to work harder to build muscle, have to work harder to build strength.
Yep.
And watch them not be able to lift, 10 pounds overhead. And then all of a sudden you turn around and they're lifting 26, and it's
Yeah.
like,
We have probably 100, close to 170 members. We have, I think, around 5 men. I didn't seek out to do it that way. That's who loves training in community.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
100%.
reality. That's who
100%.
showed up. I don't turn dudes away. I've had
Yeah.
women ask, will you make a women's only class? And I'm like, no, but there's like 5 of them.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but that's who shows up. I mean,
and most of our
that's who loves
men
it
are
with their
with their
wives.
wives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
duo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
You got to rein us in. Where are you?
Listen, I'm enjoying the conversation as much as you guys are, so all good. So over the course of this time, like it sounds like there's been a big evolution in terms of how your training principles have changed over these 15 years. So take me through that process. Like, what do you remember you were saying 15 years ago that you would never say now, or something that you've like learned and developed, or something that you do, you still say it stayed the same, Take me through that.
This is really funny because this actually happened to me the other day. I don't know how long you've been like on Facebook, but I apparently have been on Facebook for like 17 years. And when those old memories pop up
You just
of
defeat them.
your, like you
Scroll
just
by.
want to close your
Scroll right by.
eyes, pull the cover under your bed,
Yeah.
and you were like, oh my God, I actually told the world that I was going for a walk with my dog, like, or
Yes.
whatever, I
Yep.
was eating this.
Yep.
And I feel like that's a little bit like
Well.
what it looked like 15 years ago as compared to today, right?
First of all, the workouts we right now are, and I don't want to like intimidate people when I say this, but significantly harder. Like
in a great way.
in a great
yeah.
way. It's funny. I say that, and some people might be like, "Oh God, not touching that." Our oldest client is 80. Like we have clients who start in their 70s who are not fitness junkies. So like. I have to do a lot of reassuring of people.
Well,
And some of it's scalable within a workout.
I
We
was
got
gonna
clients
say,
who come in and they're lifting little baby weights on the right side of the gym, and they're doing the very basic movement, and they're going at a snail's pace, and they're skipping sets when they can't do stuff. And we have clients
who
kicking
don't want to stop, right?
clients who are like doing. And so one is it's evolved. It's more efficient and effective. Like my workouts are just a heck of a lot better, quite honestly. I understand the stuff to prioritize and focus on. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that means clients are like, "Oh my God, why is this set 8 minutes?" And first of all, I'm like, um, I spent like 45 minutes working on deadlifts the other day. So like you can do a clean and press and a front squat for 8 minutes. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. But
Yeah.
um I understand what to focus on, so my workouts have probably gotten more effective. You asked me something in there that I lost when Abby started talking. What was it? Shoot.
How they've
Is it,
evolved.
yeah, how
No,
they've
it wasn't the evolved
evolved?
part. It was
There's
the
something that you still say the same. Is there something that you've learned that, really has changed your perspective?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I will say some of the worst stuff that impacted me as an acupuncturist and a kettlebell trainer are things my mentor said that I have since decided are total bullcrap.
Mm,
And I regret how much I bought into some of what my mentors told me. For
mm-hmm.
instance, the guy who really popularized kettlebells in this country, his name is Pavel Tsatsouline. He's a
Okay.
Russian dude. He's who I learned from. He created what was called RKC, and they were the original kettlebell cert in this country. I met the man. I trained with him. Like that's who I learned from. He was super against isolation exercises.
Hmm.
Like bicep curls, triceps, quad, like any isolation workout was an absolute waste of time. And so I
Fascinating.
approached my workouts like isolation workout was a waste of time. And now
Yeah.
it's very much in the meat and the potatoes of every workout. There's going to be compound lifts, meaning squats, deadlifts, presses,
Mm-hmm.
rows, more complicated kettlebell stuff, but there's also going to be bicep curl, tricep push downs, side ab movements, obliques,
Mm-hmm.
front ab movements. There's also this big mentality in training that was like, if you're doing kettlebell front squats and swings, you don't need to do core work. And I to that say, that is absolute horse. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
even if it's just for aesthetics, like, do direct ab work. And also, I don't believe it. I've been the strongest I've ever been and been like, my abs are not, at the very least, they don't look good, which as a 49-year-old dude matters. I don't want a belly. So, like, yeah, so my workouts have changed in that I got rid of some of the stuff I took as gospel from my mentors. And I
Mm-hmm.
have some in acupuncture school too that our mentor Bob Duggan said that they weren't helpful. So
Yeah.
yeah, careful who
And
your
that's,
mentors are
I
and
think
take
also
their info
too,
with a
it's
grain of salt.
like, so much, and this is in the era that we live in with influencers, right? Like a lot of the people with the most followers in terms of it's more of the younger,
mm-hmm.
Gen Zers,
Yeah.
that a lot of them don't have clinical experience, right? So they get on topics and they start and they go in and go in and go in. And I think over the 15 years, like we have built a database of thousands and thousands of, mostly women, mostly perimenopausal women and menopausal
Mm-hmm.
women. And we've taken to what we know from there. So, the concept, some bodybuilder type people will be like, you can't get stronger with kettlebells or, and it's like, we
I see
literally,
this a lot online. I see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of influence literally saying kettlebells are a waste of time and you won't get strong. And I'm like, oh my
yeah, it's like,
God,
no,
what
but
are we
we literally
saying?
watch
Like,
people come in
yeah,
who can't do this. And then all of a sudden they're doing, like
Mm-hmm.
we see the progression and
yeah,
you're like, how dare you,
yeah.
like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
some
Well,
13-year-old
my
says stuff
clients
that,
will run circles around most women their age. Period. When I have clients who've been with us for more than 2 years, they will run circles around most of the women their age.
and
So,
I
I'll
think the thing that has stuck through the years that was, kind of introduced with kettlebells was the idea of functional strength, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
building building strength for everyday use. And that's really what our clients see is like being able to go to Home Depot and carry out their
yeah,
mulch,
yeah,
be able to shovel their snow, be able to put stuff away. Like a lot of our clients live alone, be able to do stuff at home, move
travel.
furniture, travel, yeah, have
Mm-hmm.
the stamina to like go. We have several clients who have done stretches of the El Camino in
Yep. Yep.
Europe, and like these are things that that we think is most important,
Well, and
you
even
know.
down to like you said you have a younger clientele than us. Like you tend to be more 20s to 40 and I
Yeah.
right. But like one day for these women they're gonna care about things like bone density. I've had
Yep.
3 women in the last year or 2 have a hip replacement, and literally within 6 weeks of hip replacement, they're back lifting weights incredibly well, and their doctors are dumbfounded, like,
As they
"How
should
did
be.
you bounce
Yeah.
back by this?"
2 in their
Because they
70s
were
and 1 in their
strong
60s,
when they
yeah.
Right.
went into surgery.
Right.
They didn't fall and break a hip because they were fragile, they were strong. Their hip went bad over decades of time. They got it replaced, and they bounced back immediately
Yep.
because they were in great shape. So,
Right.
it was
100%.
incredible.
Yeah, it comes down to the whole, I mean, you're like literally saving lives, right? Like
Yeah,
we
truthfully, yeah.
like to pretend that getting out of a chair is not a powerful movement,
Oh my
right?
god.
But that is a power-based movement, especially when
Mhm.
you're in your 70s, 80s and you're deconditioned, right? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
you need that power. Guess what? You're training these people like in their 40s, 50s, 60s
Yeah.
to do what I call like, train for your old lady body, right?
Mhm.
Like you need to have that preparation so that you're not sitting in your basement when you
Get
lose all your muscle mass, right? Like
getting out the nail.
raise that bar, right?
And
So
you
that
never
when you do
realize how
fall,
important it is until you can't do it,
Yeah.
exactly,
right? Until
exactly.
you can't push yourself up alone, and then you're going,
Mhm.
"Oh, shoot, I
Mhm.
really should have cared more about my strength,"
Right.
you know?
When your clients in their 20s, 30s, 40s, they're already seeing signs of it. They're probably just not paying attention to it,
100%.
especially once they start having kids. You're losing muscle mass and you're
Mhm.
getting tired, and a
Mhm.
lot of the time it comes with fat gain, and so you
Mhm.
don't see it. You're like, "Well, my body is bigger than it was before."
Yeah.
You'll notice over that next decade or 2 that they're losing muscle mass. Because they say, "Well, I'm a bigger person than I was," and it's like,
Right.
"Yeah, but underneath of there, your body's screaming to have that muscle mass that you had," and, it's yeah,
Well, even
our
bone
clients.
density, right? Like, I
What's
mean,
that?
you're even bone density, like you're
Yeah,
talking to someone with a stress fracture right now, right? Like,
yeah,
so part of that is like we need to look at like what training is going on, but
sure,
also I probably wasn't doing enough strength training, right, to
yeah,
help improve my bone density for
mhm,
that repeated pounding. So there's like
yeah,
it affects everyone and it affects us faster than we think, right? Like I just
yeah,
turned 30 last week.
mhm,
30 is when your bone density starts to just start crashing, right?
exactly,
So like
yeah,
that descent begins to happen. So now is the time, right? Like
mhm,
the younger you are, the better it is to get into it.
yeah,
So
And
it
a
can
lot of
yeah.
people don't care about it because they see their moms and their grandmothers going through it. They don't think it's a 30-year-old
Right.
problem. They think
Right.
it's a 60 or 80-year-old problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is it's a lot easier to start building your bone density at 30 and keep it going. Like we have, I mean, so many of our clients who don't join us until their late 50s, 60s go, "I wish I would have done this, years
Mm-hmm.
I hear
ago."
it
It
all
is
the
Mm-hmm.
if
time.
we had a dollar for every time somebody says, "I wish I would have started this earlier."
You wouldn't
My
need to
god,
work.
like, we'd be rich.
Yeah.
But, like, it's like if we could take the wisdom from what they had said. I mean, I even said it earlier, in the podcast, but if we were to take the wisdom from them and, like, give give 20 to 30-year-olds one bit of wisdom is, like, don't wait until after your kids have left the house to
Mm-hmm.
start focusing on your physical health.
Yeah.
Make it a
100%.
priority.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to
Totally.
hear that over the years your programs have become more well-rounded, they've become more
Mhm,
challenging, they've become more efficient. That's like really helpful for I mean, busy lives, everyone's life is busy. So,
Yeah,
having that
exactly.
opportunity to improve all these things we're talking about muscle mass, bone density,
mhm,
how you feel in your body because that's also huge, right? Like it's
mhm,
okay to be like I don't feel very good in my body right now.
yeah.
Improving that body relationship, right? Those are all huge things.
It's a shame that
Um
it's almost like people are, like, anti vanity can be a motivator for people, like, it's
yeah.
okay, you're allowed to be like, "I don't like the way I look." It seems like
Mhm.
that's gotten, um the body positivity has shifted to a point where some women are almost embarrassed to say, "Yeah, but I don't like the way I look," and it's like, that's
Right.
valid too if it motivates you. If it's comes with negative kind of I don't wanna delve down into that too much.
That's a whole
When I
nother
talk
podcast
That's
topic.
a whole nother podcast. I'm tangential. I should stay away from that subject. But, yeah, what Abby was saying, and the biggest thing I wanna say to younger women is, it does not take very long to have a substantial strength program. Like, it's not
Right.
a lot of people go, "I remember how much time I put into it in college in the gym." It doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily have to be that long.
Right.
You can do a lot with 20 to 30 minutes, 2
Mhm.
days a week.
Yep.
If you're in the throes of the you know, the 30s are often I think, look back as like the super busiest decade of life. If you're, especially if you're raising babies, work is probably at its hardest.
Yeah.
Family is at its hardest. R- the resource you often don't have left is time. And so that's why it gets thrown out. Like, I don't have time, but there's an awful lot of, you can do an awful lot in a small amount of time if you do it right. But when people walk into our gym, they always look and they go, where are the 5 pound weight? We don't have them because my
No.
clients are 80, not 106. So I like, you start with 15s and 22s and you
Yeah.
move up
Yep.
within a month. Like,
Yeah.
it's, you know, the little paperweights, we call them,
They
we
don't
don't know.
exist.
They're
I love
rehab.
it.
We don't know.
Rehab
That's for
weights.
rehab.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have 5-pound kettlebells,
Yeah.
but
Correct.
that's
Rehab.
You're
for,
rehabbing for
rotator cuff
people.
and stuff like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's for
So
rehab. Yeah.
so that's what's changed in terms of your training.
Yeah.
But with your gym culture. Now, again, it sounds like, taking the next best step and everything like that. I know sometimes people spend a lot of time really thinking about what's the culture I want to develop. It sounds like maybe this kind of fell into your lap a little bit, but how did you kind of foster a good culture within your gym? And how do you still?
Uh, God, it's a great question because it's very organic for us right now. Like, we had challenge. I'd say one thing, we're super authentic. A lot of people say to us, with Abby and David, you get what you
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're extremely real with people. We share our struggles, we share our lives. My kids know when my clients know when our kids are going through tough stuff. They know when they're having successes. They know things we're struggling with. So we're very real.
Yeah.
That's one. Not, I mean, maybe that's more for, yeah.
I think a really big piece of it, yeah, that's the art piece of it. And like, we're really lucky, like, this kind of, we didn't really have to do a lot except create the space. So the way that our classes are set up is, I mean, we're all small group. We take about 12 people in a class, sometimes a little more. But, and we have, I don't even know now, it used to be 39, but I think maybe 43, 44 classes a week. But for them, and people can come at any time, but for the
Mhm.
most part, a large percentage of our clients come with regularity to certain classes. Like,
Mm,
we have the regular 5 a.m. people, we have regular 6 a.m. people, we have regular 6:45. So like, there's like a culture
yeah, bond
of
within the
each
groups.
class and a bond, right, with each group. And so
Mhm.
like, they really come in and know each other. And we've had like, David's had business coaches throughout the year who are like, not the year, throughout the 15 years, who are astonished at our retention rate and the rate at which people show up. We do not like all the, like, a little big box gyms thrive on selling memberships to people who won't come, right?
Mhm.
Because
Right.
that means that they're making the money,
Mm,
but
Mhm.
they're not overcrowding their space. We hate that.
Yeah.
So like, we call and check on people if they haven't been
Mhm.
in coming to class. Like, their classmates call and check on them. Like, where have you been? When they come back, if they've been gone, like, where are you? So like, there's like a big community piece in which they take care of each other. Like,
Mhm.
when somebody has surgery, like, we send them a gift. Like, if
yeah.
somebody dies, we send them flowers. Like,
Mhm.
our loved
Yeah.
one died, send them flowers. People just in our community show up for each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of our clients this year was the second year she did a Friendsgiving at her house. And like, this was all client, like, we just showed up.
Yeah. I love
Um,
that.
there's, the lights walk next week
Right.
at Merriweather. One of our trainers was like, anybody want to go? And
Yeah.
30 people are now going.
That's
Like,
awesome.
it's just like, people just kind of do things and show up for each other. And I think that really helps people, A, come,
Mhm.
B, foster community, and really have people feel like a sense of belonging.
Mhm.
Um, when new people come, we try to connect them to other people in class. We just try to create a really welcoming space. Like,
Yeah.
I was somebody who kind of, when I was younger, I was really shy, kind of flew under the radar. Like, I was social, I had friends, but I stuck to who I know. I mean, I
Mhm.
stayed close to home in college. A bunch of my high school friends went there. I lived with them. Like, I kept my circle, like my home base, small. And I was not the kid who went to camp and like all the counselors knew me within 5 minutes.
Mhm.
So, like, I always really wanted a place where, like, everybody knew your name,
Yeah.
like, you would walk in and be like, "Cheers," like, term.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we really make a point to like know things about people, know about
Mm-hmm.
their lives. They share, with their lives with each other.
I mean, one of the things that sticks out, we just started it again every year around this time. We do a bingo card, or now it's buddy bingo. And so people have to
Okay.
be up with a friend, and there's
Yeah.
all tasks they have to complete. And it'll be like, leave us a Google or Facebook review.
Yeah.
Both of you do the amount of burpees of your average age. Bring a friend to class. It's a ton of things. Some are
I
really
love that.
easy, like um, double your veggies for a day, or like
Say no to an
say no to an
obligation.
obligation. That's a big one. I always I wrote a post about that the other day. Women love this task. I tell them, hey, right now in the busiest, most taxing month of the year, I want you to say no to an obligation that you don't want to do and won't offend somebody, but you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And like they love that square every
I'm
year. Oh my
sure.
God, I said no to something new, and it was like this freaking weight off my plate of like one of the clients just said it. She holds this holiday party and she just said, I'm not making all the food. I'm gonna cater it or something. She's like,
I love that.
you said no to it, and it just
Love
got
it.
rid of something that was, yeah, it felt exhausting to her.
Mm-hmm.
So buddy bingo is a big one. That's actually built some friendships. One friend group that sticks out every year literally bonded because of buddy bingo. They kind of
It's
knew each other in class,
yeah.
did buddy bingo together. Now they're like thicker than thieves. They're so close
I
together
love that.
because of it.
Yeah.
We hold, parties at our house once a year usually. So it's being real and having events for people,
Yeah.
we'll run
And
Well, and
challenges.
honestly, like, because we're all small group, people are coming because they want the community,
Yeah,
right?
mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
people
yeah.
Right.
are coming, they don't want to work out alone. And a lot of our clients work from home or are retired, and like they need connection with people, right? They
Mm-hmm.
need community.
Yep.
And so like this is a place where they get it. And so they're making the most of their time there by not only getting the workout, but they're getting community and
It's funny
friendships.
how each class kind of has its own culture too. Like I can tell you the culture of like, yes, on Wednesdays I teach 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:45, 8:30, and 9:30. And like each of those classes is very different.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And yet
sure.
usually the 5 a.m. is like this chunk of 5 or 6 of them, 6 a.m. is
Uh-huh.
this, like they're all slightly different. Some of them are super feisty classes. Some of them are like younger, some are older, some are
Yeah.
like, and that culture is different from each class. And it's happened organically by us holding the space for that.
Yeah.
But a lot of what Abby's pointing at too, people undermine this. We don't charge $20 a month to work with us. We charge it's a chunk of change. It's more
Mm-hmm.
than a gym and less than personal training. It's
Yeah.
what it belongs costing, but it's an investment. And
Right.
funny enough, when you invest a decent amount of money that feels like that's a decent amount of money, people value that more.
Mm-hmm.
I
100%.
People either come and go from us quickly because they don't like it or they don't want to spend $200 a month or whatever, or they stick with us forever
Yeah.
because they come in and they're like, and our success rate because of it, because clients who come to our program actually go to class. There are people wildly successful who go to big gyms and pay not, $10 a
Right.
month.
Right.
Very few of them. Our clients come to class.
Yeah.
Like
That's great.
they're attending 8 to 12 workouts a month, period. And
Yeah.
like that is by hard work on our end making that happen and because they put skin in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a lot to help them get results and feel part of it. So like don't
Yeah.
be afraid to invest something into what you're doing because you will value something you invest in more.
Right. Right.
So
So it sounds like, and don't I earlier I feel like you were kind of discrediting the realness, like oh, we're just real with people. No, people really respond to that. Like
yeah,
that
people respond to
authenticity
that
is
very much.
really
Yeah.
like you're leading with that, right? And so
Yeah.
other people feel like they can share because hey, these people,
Yes.
the people who are running this gig,
Yeah.
they
Yes.
they're also like investing something in me. But it sounds like you've really created like a third space, if you've heard of this term, right? Like a space for community to grow, for people to gather.
Yeah.
What it sounds like we've already kind of covered this, but what other benefits have you seen, both like on a large community, like if you think about Ellicott City or Columbia as a whole, or the whole gym group, but also like on an individual level, like client to client? You mentioned like there's a close friend group who's like thick as thieves, but what benefits have you seen across that spectrum because of this community that you've built?
I mean, where do we go? We talk about Carol without,
Mm.
well, I don't I'm not
Can be.
sure this is the right answer for that question, but, like, one of the greatest examples I have of our community was this client, Carol, who died, through I don't know, sometime right after the heart of COVID, so let's call it 4 years ago. Carol was like a keystone client for us. She sent us so many members. So many
Mm,
people came from Carol who are still members with us. It's incredible. And it was tragic. She was like just about ready to retire and she was going to ride off into the sunset and she got a cough and yada yada. She died of lung cancer.
oh my gosh.
I was in the room with her in the hospice the day she died.
Wow.
Multiple clients were. The months while she was getting when she got diagnosed, she was being treated for, let's call it 4 months. I think it was a chunk a month. We had clients wearing tutus, going to her house and singing her Christmas carols.
I love that. Oh my
Like,
gosh.
standing outside of her house and, trying not to cry.
Oh,
Yeah, same. It's fine.
Uh, like,
Oh
cheering her
man.
up and being with her from start to finish, and then
Yeah.
she died, and I spoke in her funeral, and I looked out in
Wow.
the crowd, and, like, 20% of the crowd was clients from our gym, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's a freaking community."
Yeah.
Her picture is next to the bike, one of the bikes in our gym, because
I love
she used to
that.
stand up on that thing and pedal, and her white hair would shoot up in the air, and it was
I
hilarious.
love that. Oh my
And,
gosh.
and I have, like, a song on my playlist that still reminds me of her because she loved that song, and, like yeah, I mean, like, that's community, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people will literally, like, show up on your doorstep with cancer to support you. They made food for her, they sang they would literally put on tutus and go sing Christmas. I don't remember why
and
tutus, but
I
they
know because they were
cheer
just
her
a
up because 'cause
tutu
they're
bunch.
wacky,
Because
yeah.
yeah, and, like, she and she still worked, and it's not like we were her only community,
No.
Sure,
like, she
sure.
had people in her lives, and it's just that but that's just what yeah, that's the kind of community that we have and
And
that we
yeah,
built,
so
and
we
that's important
didn't
to us.
make
Right.
that, but that
Sure.
happened
Yeah.
because we have that kinda community, and it happens. I see clients on Facebook who are still doing stuff together, who aren't clients of ours,
Yeah.
who
I
forged
love
those
that.
relationships in our gym, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, "They're not even members anymore, and they still got community because of this place,"
That's
and I
incredible.
community matters to me a lot. My grandfather, who was born in 1905, I mean, he was my oldest grandfather and the last grandparent of mine to die. And he always
Wow.
said, "We're going to miss civic engagement centers," is what he called it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, the church is falling, it's getting less and less. There aren't community spaces where people go together, probably in rural communities and certain areas of the country, yes, but like most people lack community and this cell
Mm-hmm.
phone is not
Mm-hmm.
community. And and I know that that shaped my life because I love community. And so
Yeah.
holding a space where people get along and love each other and show
Mm-hmm.
up and care and do real work, like that matters. So, like, the type C of me that, like, is super passionate and driven, like, that's what Abby and I have cultivated by making that happen, and I don't always know how to say that it happened, but you know it when you see it.
Well,
100%.
and, like,
Community.
what we saw, like, through COVID is, the community so, like, we like to say that we have supported our members tremendously through the years, and they have supported us. It's definitely a symbiotic relationship. Like, we do not feel like we give more than we get. We provide the space, we provide the training, obviously, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
they support us just as much, and,
Yep.
like, COVID is a really big example of that. Like, we knew a lot of gyms that fell apart, right? But our community, like, popped on Zoom, did the homework out they
Kept
stuck
paying
with
us
it,
full
kept paying
price
us
to
full
do
price.
stupid Zoom
Yeah.
workouts with,
I
like,
love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, and,
and we
like
Yeah.
knew it was mediocre product and it was the
mhm,
best thing we could offer, and we didn't go out of business because of these people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
literally,
right.
they saved our ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So,
we were so
That's
grateful for that,
incredible.
and then what was I
I don't
you
know.
stole
Oh,
my
shoot, I did that.
thunder.
Well,
You
it
always say that, don't you? But
Alright.
it's reminding me of, I mean, my practice has only been open since July, but
Mm.
I am you're thankful for your patients, your clients, like when you're working for someone else. But it's a whole nother level of thankfulness when it's you directly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's I've already been like kind of upgrading some of my equipment, and I'm like, every time a patient comes in, I'm like, this is because of you that I'm like
Yeah.
able to do this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
just bought a Titan bench. I'm like really excited about it, right? But like that happened because I've had,
Yeah.
consistent clients for 6 months.
Totally.
So, and it's more than that, obviously. Like it grows into other things as well. But like that has such a huge impact. And that's
Yeah.
an incredible community that you have that,
You
to
can
support you
test
through
that.
COVID
Well, and
and
I
like,
think that clients want to know that they're supporting you,
right,
right? Like
right.
people, and especially like I know we keep talking about women, but especially women, like women of course, there are some very non-nurturing women, but women as a species are very nurturing. They want to know that they're also helping you, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
how many, and I'm sure this happens to you all the time. This happens to me in the treatment room with acupuncture. I will be asking into them, and then they'll be like, "Well, how are you? How was your?"
Yes.
And it's like that's I'm great, but how are you?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like, no, but how are you?
Right.
And that's really the way that the kettlebell community is too. Is that their desire to also they also know by supporting us, they're supporting their community.
Right.
Like this is
100%.
like if I could have this be like a like a co-op or a
Mm-hmm.
whatever like that, that'd be great. It's
Yeah.
like they're invested in it too.
Right. Well, they've kind of built that out of this, right? Like,
Hmm.
Friendsgiving, and I'm sure there's
Yeah,
happy hours and like other things like that. Like that all comes out of this. So
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
We
incredible.
also
their
have
desire
we
to.
also have some like super higher purpose stuff too. Like I'm on the board of Casey Cares Foundation, which is a charity that works with critically ill kids. Um, we've now run our 11th annual Casey Cares. We call it a swing-a-thon, like kettlebell swings,
I saw that and
and
I was wondering what that was.
we have
So I'm glad
raised
to learn
close
about
to
it now.
$200,000.
That's
Like
awesome. Oh my
our
gosh.
little community with no like I don't know anything about fundraising. I don't know anything about community, and yet like
Yeah.
we have I think one time raised less than $10,000 in a year. We had one
One
year we
time? That's
raised almost
crazy.
$30,000. Like it's this year we made close to $14,000 to that charity.
Wow.
So like having that little higher purpose, I mean, people come out of the woodwork. People donate crazy items for us for the silent auction. People show,
Yeah.
it's good to have a higher purpose too.
100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%. I love that. All right. Final question. And I'm going to be strict about this. Okay.
Mm.
So prepare
Oh,
yourselves.
so Abby,
Um,
so tighten up, Abby.
a, a lot of people come in and out of fitness over the course of their
Mm,
lifetime.
too
What are
much.
3 things that you would recommend to people going into the new year with fitness goals, um, to help them maintain consistency and actually stick with it instead of, losing sight of their goals at week 3 of January?
You've been told to do things gently and
Mm-hmm.
slowly, and I there's some level of personal change that I agree that like if you do too much too fast, you can freak out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't go hard enough in how you work out or how you work on your nutrition and you don't see results, you will quit. So number one, do a program that you really are inspired by, that you
Mm-hmm.
resonate with and like, and freaking do it with your soul so you get results.
Yeah, I would say to piggyback on that, do something that you can do long term.
Mm.
Like people love these little like very short challenges, these cleanses, these,
Ugh,
drop like whatever.
yeah.
I don't even know.
6 week
But
boot
like,
camp.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like that's not long term. So do something that you can do long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
She's
that.
saying like, yeah, the others like don't pick some ridiculous stop getting lured by diets that you're never going to eat. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons we push the macro diet is because you can actually eat like this 90% of your life and love it. Like we fell into macros a couple years ago. I was like, oh my God, this was the thing we've looked for forever.
Yeah.
Because people want these quick things that are extremely hard that you're like, you're not gonna do that for 6 months, so don't do it for 1 month, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Can I do number two?
go for it.
Okay. I have a number two.
You each get
Um,
3, by the
oh,
way.
we
You
each
each,
get
Ooh,
three.
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
oh,
because I
okay.
know David, and I know that he would have 12 if I let him. So
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do your 3 and
I
then,
don't
or do you
know.
want me
Why
to
don't
do
you
one?
well, you
I
did
like the
1,
back
I
and
did
forth.
1.
Keep doing, yeah,
Okay.
do your
Yeah.
back and forth.
So I would say if when you start something, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you have a blip in your
Oh,
radar, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you fall off for a day or two, you all of a sudden realize you're 4 days and you're like, oh my God, I didn't go to the gym. I didn't work out. I've been eating like crap. That's okay. That is not a failure. Just start right back up, right? You're going to have times where you fall off. And honestly, that's healthy because you're building a relationship around what do I do when the going gets tough, right? Like
Yeah.
how knowing it's kind of like sports, right? Striking out in baseball is going to happen,
Yep.
but how do you handle that? And what do you do at your next at bat? Like that's what you teach. That's what we teach the kids, right? Like it's going to happen, right? You're going to strike out in your diet and exercise, but how do you bounce back from that and return from that as quickly as possible, right? So that I would say is find a cue that when you're setting up your new way of new you, however you want to call it, when you're setting it up, have a SOS to yourself, right? Like a sticky note on your bathroom mirror. You know, has it been 2 days since you worked out? Whatever it is, some reminder and some way of returning back to the start. So you're not going, oh my God, now I threw it away. Now I'm just going to sabotage everything because I always start and I always fail, right? So a way to stop the self-sabotage.
Yeah. I love that.
We act as if number two, for me, we act as if fitness is something we could do or not do in our lives, and that is bullcrap. That is a lie. If you're a human being, fitness is a non-negotiable. I'm sorry that our modern world has built this concept like fitness is bougie or something else you do, but the reality is, as Homo sapiens, we're actually meant to lift and carry and walk and do all this heavy stuff. And it doesn't matter that our lifestyle now is sitting at a desk and at a table. That's not what we're built for. You're never going to thrive unless you exercise. So stop negotiating with yourself and create a habit and guard that habit like it's gold. I'm trying to help my sister who lives in Vermont right now, who's having some health issues, and I'm trying to work with her right now. I've written her a program. It's really good.
It's really good.
Really good. It's a really good program. And
I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that
she
one.
just was like, here's what I have access to, and I wrote her a program, and I'm gonna talk to her later. I'm gonna champion her, but she's gonna get a lot of tough love because I'm gonna be like, find the time, and this is part of it. Find the time of the day you can be successful with. I don't care when you love to work out. That may not be a reality as an adult.
Yeah.
Find the time you can work out, plug it into your life. Tell your partner, tell your kids, tell your like.
I feel like you're doing multiple.
Yeah, this is your third one, David.
I feel like
this is David. And well, what I'm basically saying is don't negotiate with this stuff and burn a habit into your life. It is a habit and guard it. Like your habit going to work and all the other stuff you consider. There are things you waste your time with that you can sacrifice. Time on the phone, TV, things like that. I know you have time in your day for a 39-minute workout. Yeah. Guard
that's
that.
That's your David Goggins
You-
speech.
you started with one to move and then you went to habit. Are those two things or one? I'm just trying to
Stop
get
it. This
clear.
is my three. not
I
yours.
said that they were separated. So
Okay.
you're three, David. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
my three. I've said
you
two.
Okay, so
You
I'm
said
gonna
three.
say-
That was your third one.
No, that was two.
No, that
I
was
have a third.
three. You have a okay, fine.
I have
Okay.
a third.
So I'm gonna say find yourself an accountability partner, a community, a buddy, somebody who will not coddle you, somebody who will call you out on your stuff.
Nonsense.
And
Yeah.
somebody who knows enough about you that understands your saboteurs, right? Like so somebody, it doesn't have to be somebody you work out with. I suggest it not be your partner.
Yeah.
That's what I do suggest because number
He's a real
there's
a-hole.
just a lot. There's a lot of
Yeah, why not, Abby?
tension.
Why not?
because number one, you can sabotage each other, right? You can
You
go
can collude.
you can collude. Thank
Colluding
you.
is
That's
bad.
kind of colluding is bad. Number two, you could feel like I don't know, what if you're like super menopausal PMSing and you're like,
I'm
F
not.
you, I don't want to listen to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
God.
no, yeah. So like I suggested being somebody who's outside of your house, who is not, or you can get the, I know you've been really busy, like, the coddling, like give yourself, I've heard this. This is coming from
Experience.
years of hearing feedback. I get
Yeah.
a lot, it's okay, take care of yourself. You've been
From
really
me?
busy. No,
Oh, I
from
was
other
like, no,
people.
I don't.
I knew you would do
I
that.
wouldn't say that.
So somebody
Be
who
like,
is
go
not
work out.
Talk about it. That's for the gym.
and when you establish that person, really tell them why this is important to you and what your goals are.
That's
and
two.
what
You've already had two.
No, I'm saying what you're sharing with, this is an explanation of your accountability buddy.
You've already had two. That's your third.
Stop it, lock it, put it in your pocket.
I love that.
Yeah. So have them know why this is important to you. So they're not letting you off the hook, and so they are holding you accountable.
So get a buddy and have
Right.
a why. Okay, that's 2 and 3. Sorry, I'm making her think. I'm just trying to get her back.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying like
you
have an
clearly
accountability have an accountability partner. Make sure they understand your why, so that when you come to them and are like, yeah, I haven't worked out in 2 weeks, they'll be like, but what about this? Like,
Exactly.
hold on.
Exactly. Right.
I thought we were doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like your answers. They're good. They're good.
Well, thank you.
They're different than, they're like different than the way I would think. Because I'm like the tough love one and she's, the nurturing one. And it's good. You need both sides. Well, whoever's message resonates more, listen to that one. All right, my third one. Are you done your second one?
Yeah, I'm done. Go for it.
Second A, second B, and second C there?
Yours were
Don't act like you didn't have 2A, 2B, and 2C.
I said it's non-negotiable and burn the habit into your life.
No, you
That's
didn't.
Not
You
two
started
thoughts.
off with, we were meant to move, and so don't be wimpy. Make sure you're
I'm giving you the
moving.
context for build the habit because it's not negotiable.
That's not even related.
Did you know what you were getting into? When you were...
I kind of had an idea, but I love this so much.
People are like, how do you run a business
We've been
together?
on our
It's
best
like,
behavior too.
You're lucky I didn't ask you that question, because I love my husband, but he'll be like, what about this with the business? I'm like, don't ask. Okay, it's fine. Like, leave me alone.
That's wild. It's hard to run a business together, especially in the stressful times.
That's a whole other podcast.
My third is going to be my life mission and the thing I preach about the absolute most. Do you know what it is, Naomi? Do you know me well enough to know?
I don't know.
This is the thing that makes me more mad than anything around fitness.
If I'm hurt.
It is
roadblocks.
Human beings are animals, and animals tweak things. And the only animal who stops moving because they tweak something is a human, because some doctor told them to.
I did know this.
If a dog tweaked their knee, they keep moving with the other 3 legs until that knee repairs. Humans, except our dog, who whines and holds it up in the air. I am not diminishing. Pain is a very complex subject, but we have this awful stance around pain in this society, and it's been propagated by lawsuits. Doctors are scared to tell people to work for pain. And there are a lot of practitioners in the PT world, the chiropractic world. Chiropractors are some of the, they give some of the worst fitness advice. But frankly, a lot of the phrase, if it hurts, don't do it, is the stupidest phrase in fitness. It's stupid. I'm sorry that it sounds logical. It's completely stupid. What I'm not saying is, if it hurts, just do it anyway. But a good trainer, will know how to modify and work around that pain.
Yep.
I have always got, in 170 members, 10 to 20% of my clients are banged up in some way because they're human beings, and most of them are over 50.
Yep.
Soft tissue injuries are completely normal, and you have to learn how to train around them, or you will have huge gaps in your training. And guess what? When the older you get, the second your habit's broken, the second you've lost that stamina, that strength, that conditioning, it's all an uphill battle to get it back.
Yep.
The worst advice in the world that practitioners can give is to stop moving until it's healed, because they lose the habit, they lose the stamina. It's hard to get back into it. You know what it's like when you take 2 weeks off. You're sore again. You go back and do that workout. You feel out of shape. Everything feels heavier. You're sore. You have to learn how to modify and keep moving. I have 2 clients in class yesterday wearing knee braces who are having trouble because they're both over 50, and one of them rides horseback and has a constantly tweaked knee because she rides horseback and it's a tough thing, but she loves it.
Rides horseback. That was a weird way to put
rides
it.
horses, and she loves it, and she comes in and we work with what her body can do that day, and we build it around it. And I'm like,
Yep.
today is a slam bag ropes and kettlebell swings day because you're not lunging.
Yep.
Okay, so modifying is the name of the game. Keep moving unless you're truly injured, and true injuries are so rare. Most people I deal with, we rarely have people who are actually injured enough that they need time away, like a hip replacement. So that's my lecture. That could be
Yeah.
an entire other podcast.
Right. It's like the conversation that you and I have had of like, if it's sharp, don't do it. But if
Yeah.
it's less than a 6 or between a 4 and a 6 out of 10, modify it. Like reduce
Modify.
the rate,
Yeah.
reduce the weight, reduce the range, like whatever. If it's less than
Yes.
a 4, keep going.
And I'll
You're gonna
promote
be
you
okay.
too. Like, I think every human being ought to have a fitness routine and ought to have a PT on speed dial. I at all times have a PT I work with because stuff comes up. I probably only go a couple times a year, but I go a couple times a year when something is wrong. I
Yeah.
usually know my injuries are old from my teens from sports. I know what they are, but I can't. When I get to the point where they're there, my neck is the big one, and I can't get out of it. I see my PT a couple times, and she gets it fixed,
Yeah.
and I'm right back at it. And while I'm dealing with my neck, I'm doing whatever else I can do. But I'm going to see that everybody ought to have a PT they work with because stuff's going to go wrong, and you want to address it and get right back to your workouts.
100%. 100%.
That's my third.
And part of what a good PT does, I remember in my schooling, I had a yoga applications of PT class. And one of the most profound things that we did in that class was we sat in laying on our backs with our feet up in the air, basically doing a hamstring stretch with a strap. We sat like that for 3 minutes. Every single person's toes were tingly, okay, by the end of that 3 minutes. And about like 45 seconds in, the instructor was like, so you're probably starting to feel symptoms. You're just going to sit with that. Like, you just need to sit with the discomfort and understand like what that feels like and just acknowledge it and keep going. Like, you're not hurting anything by doing that, right? Like, and I don't recommend that for everyone, but a good PT knows when you can handle that and when you can't handle that. My brother talks about like partner rate of perceived exertion, right? Like, RPE ratings and everything. That's basically my job, is to go, I know that you're not pushing hard enough. It's the same job that you have, right? Like in a different context. So, or in a similar context. So anyway, yeah, I definitely agree. I love that. I love each of those. And I really loved, Abby, what you said too. You said something, I'm going to look back and double check to make sure I got you exactly right, but said something like building a relationship with resilience. And that's huge.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what fitness is.
I love that phrase.
Yeah.
You can work with it.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Thank you. Tagline.
Yeah.
Exactly. Building a relationship. I love that because that is the reality of life. Like you said earlier, like, we're all busy. Name somebody who isn't busy, right? Like, name someone. Are we all having the most productive, busy days? Probably not. But the reality is we're not sitting around and watching TV all day, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's some people who have gotten to that point and they have earned it, right? Retired or whatever. But like, that's the reality, is that we are all busy. Time is not a gift. People always say to me, oh, you own a gym, you must work out all the time. I'm like, yeah. Well, I'm teaching. I have an acupuncture practice. I have two other body services that I do. I do admin stuff for the business.
Clean toilets.
Clean. I go grocery shopping. I make dinner. Like, no, I don't. Like, I go to my kids' sporting events. I, talk my college kid off a ledge, a lot of times. I
classic bomb stuff.
around trying to get her tires replaced. Like, no, I'm busy too. I don't work out for 3 hours a day. I don't have time. Like, I got my butt out of bed this morning at 5:15 to go take the 6 o'clock class.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to reverse, just like,
David. Oh, sorry.
Oh, God.
Oh, shoot.
Yes, you pissed me up. We were talking about like the importance of community. Like, I do not enjoy working out by myself. I am not a self-motivator. I'm not motivated. we have a whole setup in our basement. I go down there, I start looking around. I go, oh, the floor needs to be vacuumed. Oh, I should put in, there might be a mouse down here. I should, I should put in, take something out of the freezer for dinner. I should start, whatever. The dog needs to go out. Like, I hate working out by myself. So like, if I was left to my own devices, I'll lead this into my number 3. If I was left to my own devices, I would not be successful,
Mm-hmm.
right? I want all the results of a very fit person, but the reality is, unless I'm getting on the elliptical or taking a walk, I don't do much at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through times when I'll do like a 10-minute kettlebell thing or like a little cardio, whatever. But I really enjoyed going to class, right?
Yeah.
5 days a week you can find me in class. And and I reserve anything at home on the weekends. But like, so for me to be successful, I need community. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I don't have that one, like I don't necessarily really need like that accountability person anymore, but
Sure.
like I definitely need some place to go show up to
Mm-hmm.
say this is my time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
carving this out.
Yep.
I was really bad for a lot of years with giving my kids first and then me.
Yeah.
Like I remember during COVID, we would be recording workouts on live Zooms and my kids would be like, do, 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 I'm hungry. I'm like, for real?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and like, or like even on my own, like even if I wasn't leading a workout that day and I was working out, because that's all we freaking did was work out. I'm like, I'm with you 24 hours a day and you need me now.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to finish. And actually that time at home really gave me
Boundary.
the boundaries that I have always lacked. And I wish that when the kids were younger that I would have had more boundaries with like, no, this is the time that I'm going to work out and whatever you need, I'm going to do in an hour,
Yeah.
sort of like your infant crying. Like there's not a lot of things that you need
Yep.
right this second. So, but in doing that, I think it has helped teach our kids how putting fitness before other things is what we do in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
just what we do.
Yeah.
If you want goals, if you want to feel a certain way, like our college kid, she goes to the gym 5 days a week,
That's
in
awesome.
college. Like I did not do that. And she
Yeah.
goes and lifts and has her own routines and,
Mm-hmm.
she does what she does. But like, yeah. So I would say my number 3 is know what kind of workout person you are. You don't need to go buy $100 million in equipment and then regret buying it. You just need somewhere to go show up. And if you're somebody that needs people around you, go find somewhere where people are going to be around you. If you know that like you need to go to a class, why is group fitness so successful? Because it's a time you show up. People are
Mm-hmm.
you can't go, I'll do it in 10 minutes. I'll do it in 30 minutes. No, you show up now.
Yep.
Even like Peloton, like I know they have their live rides and people love that because they're
Mm-hmm.
going on a certain time,
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so I'd say find a program that you find fun and enjoyable and is in line with the goals that you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to get strong, don't do Zumba, right? Like
Right.
those are not in line with your goals.
Yeah.
And if you know that you're somebody that needs people around you, go find a place to have people around you. Don't give
Don't work out
yourself
in your basement because your husband said you can't spend the money
right,
because he golfs and
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
spends money on things.
Yeah.
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 So you're
I
allowed to
love
do it.
I am so thankful for you too. And I totally understand why this works, right? Like you
Mm.
two are like a perfect balance of each
Why
other.
we work.
Yeah, well, yes, but also that, but like why you work like as business owners too, right? Like you both just said the same thing, just like slightly differently, like a slightly different presentation, right? Like in ways that people may respond to better, you know what I mean, at
Right.
different times in their life, maybe, you
Yep.
know what I mean? Like sometimes I need somebody to be soft and nice to me, and sometimes I need people to be like, no, you're not doing that right. Let me
Yeah.
tell you why you're not doing that right, right? And that's perfect, right? And
Yeah.
that's good to have in a gym setting. So I'm so thankful to have such a great resource for my patients, and people who are really smart and good at their jobs. So thank you for coming on today.
Absolutely.
Thank you
And
for
I
overvaluing our intelligence.
Yeah. We fooled her.
Yeah, yes, high five.
Well, you're smart and you're cool, so you can have both of those. Awesome.
We can make it
Well,
work.
any final thoughts before we go today?
Thank you for having us. Here comes the big dog.
Oh, boy.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
It's fun to be here, and it's great, like David said, having, PT who knows a thing or two about, or whose values are in line with our values is super important.
I just want to say I love fitness, and I hope that if people have been disconnected from it, find something that you love, because it's cool, and it will it's one thing that not everybody does that will dramatically positively impact all parts of your life. And
Nobody has ever once said, "Man, I really
regretted it.
regret,
Yeah.
upping my fitness game."
Yep.
No,
Just
but nobody.
find your people and your thing, because I think it's like really one of the greatest gifts out there. Everybody's gonna work, everybody's gonna have relationships, there's all these things we're going to do. A lot of people are gonna bow out of fitness, and it's a huge loss. So like,
Yeah.
do it.
And don't wait.
Stop waiting.
Don't wait. It's kind of like, when you're working with a financial planner, right? Like there's a lot of analogies between fitness and financial planning that we like. And like, your financial planner, you still need to spend money while you're saving money, right? Like waiting for the right time or the right moment to do something is just never going to happen, because there's always going to be something else. You're going to need 4 new tires, or you're going to need a new roof. You're going to need this and this, right? And so like with fitness, like don't wait for the right time to start something that's just perfect. Just start it. Right? Just
Yeah.
start something. Just go. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait for the sale. Don't wait for the perfect
Yeah,
thing.
you know the phrase, what's the best day to plant a tree 20 years ago?
Yeah,
What's the
true.
second best day today?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It applies
Yeah.
to fitness too.
Tomorrow does not get any easier.
Very
It's
true.
not.
Do it.
Yep.
Love it. Well, on that note, that's it for today. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
All right,
having
thank you.
us.
Of course. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
you
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me on Flourish Well. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need the reminder to be inspired in their workouts and to not do it alone. You can connect with us, find resources, and continue the conversation online. Remember, doing it together is always better. Finding the right community can often make all the difference. Keep taking the small steps, keep choosing yourself, but find the right group to work with. Keep choosing to flourish. Until next time, be well, stay grounded, and keep growing.